What's up, Buttercup? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is 6 ways to read more. But I want to note that these tips are for people that want to read more either for fun or because perhaps you're in college and you need to read more because books are being assigned to you a lot and you're just kind of having trouble keeping up. What this is not about is competitive reading and wanting to read more just so you're competing with other people on Book Talk or Instagram or booktube or wherever, what have you, in the book community. The first tip is to limit screen time. I know a lot of people are either on their computer, tablet, or phone, and usually y'all are doom scrolling. Yep. A lot of social media interaction. Just go into your screen time section, especially if you have an iPhone or like an Apple device, whatever. I don't know if this is for Android because I don't have an Android, but go into your screen time, set that up, set limits, and then for a week or two, see how much screen time you're actually involved in. If it is more than 3 hours a day, honestly, you gotta cut back, not just to read more, but also for your mental health. I do highly suggest watching The Social Dilemma on Netflix if you are not convinced that you should be limiting screen time. Please limit screen time for your overall health and also to read more, because let's say, for example, you are on your phone 6 hours out of the day. If you push that back to even 3 hours a day, now you have freed up 3 hours to read. So you're just wanting to add a couple hours or just even 1 hour per day reading, and that's how you can get through an extra book or two per month. Number 2, it's limit TV time. Kind of the same thing, but this is about watching less TV, turning off that television, and instead of watching 4 hours of HGTV, you're going to read for 4 hours, and that is just adding another book, 2, 3, it depends on how long the book is, of course, but you're reading more, therefore you're finishing more books, and therefore instead of maybe just reading 2 books, you've read 5 books in a month. Number 3, this is very important. Read genres and authors you're actually interested in versus forcing yourself to read genres and authors you think or feel you have to read for whatever reason. And that kind of goes into the competitive reading that I'm not about. But I know there are a lot of books that are trending on Instagram, Book Talk, and even booktube that you feel like you have to read to get views and to get interactions. Now, if you're interested, definitely try the book out. If you know, though, for example, you don't like a particular author, but it's trending, maybe don't read that author and find another book that's popular or not popular. I usually go for the not popular, honestly, but find another book or author or book series that you're actually interested in, because if you're not interested in something, you're going to read it slowly or you're not going to finish it, and that can be a real downer, and that can lead to burnout and reading slumps, and we want to avoid those 2 things if you want to read more. Number 4, try out different book formats like audiobooks, ebooks, so on and so forth. I am a physical copy girly. I have tried out audiobooks. The ADHD says no ma'am. Ebooks, the ADHD also says no ma'am. So I'm kind of stuck with the physical copies. It's not stuck. I just prefer the physical copies. But if you're having problems paying attention to reading a physical copy, try out an ebook, try out audiobooks, and see how that goes for you. And perhaps you need to read hardcovers for whatever reason. Maybe it's really about touch and the stability of hardcovers that you prefer over paperbacks, or maybe you don't like hardcovers because they're so stiff and they're heavier, so then move over to paperback. So even the physical copy between paperback and hardcover can make it or break it. You just have to try out various things and see how it goes. Number 5, read on your lunch break, while you're waiting in line, while you're doing laundry, while you are cooking, and that's audiobook. Don't read as you're cooking, but there are different ways where you can interact with novels kind of in between the spaces of busyness. And that's how I read. I usually read on lunch break, or more so often I read before bed. I know a lot of people would not prefer to do that, but actually reading in my routine, it helps me go to sleep. It doesn't put me to sleep, it helps me to go to sleep. So you kind of just have to figure out what works and what doesn't work for you, and how you're going to place reading into your daily life. And a lot of ways to do that is downtime. I know there's a lot of people, for example, that will read an ebook while they're in line, especially if it's a really long line, like at a pharmacy or Costco or something like that. You can get in maybe 20 minutes of reading, and that 20 minutes is more than if you just sat there scrolling on your phone on TikTok or whatnot. See, so there's a lot of kind of analyzing and seeing the spots where, instead of watching TV or going on your phone or just standing around, how can I incorporate reading or listening to audiobooks instead of those other things? And it doesn't matter if it's even just 6 minutes of reading. You have now read 6 pages, whereas you did not read 6 pages if you just stood in line at Walmart, just kind of looking around. And number 6, reread less books if you're a person who rereads often. Now, I know there is a lot of comfort in rereading books. I actually don't reread books. That's probably why I've been able to read so many books. I'm not wanting you to not read books if it finds you comfort. However, do you need to reread a book a total of, let's say, 10 times? Can you reread a book 6 times? Because those other slots in there can be new books or new authors for you. I know you already really enjoy, let's just say, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and you read it every single year, or sometimes, good for you all, but you read it twice a year. Think about, do you need to read it twice a year? Can you just read the trilogy once a year? Because I'm sure that you can find other books that are comforting to you, that will bring you joy and calmness if you try out new books. Is it going to be a hit every single time? Absolutely not. But you want to get out, honestly, of that comfort zone and try new things, even if it's going to be a miss sometimes. It's better, I think, to try new things and go on that journey versus you're rereading something over and over and over again, and then you're like, oh, why did I only read 20 books a year last year? Or why am I only at 10 books this year? I wanted to read 35. But yes, you are rereading, so it counts, but if you're looking at a wider picture of, I want to read many different types of books, like I want to read 35 different books, but you have read Lord of the Rings 6 times in a year. Those 6 books could be counted towards your 35 book goal. See what I'm saying? So just sit down and think on possibly why you wanting to reread so many books, if that's what you do a lot, and what could you do to make it more fun and comforting to read new books and to have that type of journey versus just, rereading the same things over and over again. Thank you so much for watching my 6 ways to read more. I will see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.